What is up, people? Welcome back to the channel. I'm back again for another video as I do a preview to our Boxing Day clash against Preston, of course, at Deepdale away. It is away from home, and yeah, 3 o'clock kickoff on Monday. Obviously, we're going to the game looking to get back to winning ways. After we were defeated at home by Watford, 2-0 last Saturday. But Preston also come into this game hoping to bounce back after they were beaten by Queen's Park Rangers at Deepdale as well last Saturday. So they're on the back of a loss too, but they're still doing very well. And yeah, we haven't won there since 1969. They've beaten us twice this season already. 4-1 in the Carabao Cup, of course. The first game of the season, wasn't it, the Carabao Cup this time? And they won us 1-0 in the league in the same month as well, in August. So, yeah, I mean, it is one of those, and obviously we'll get into the opposition first and then we'll get into us. But as you can see, I am sporting my Huddersfield Town Christmas jumper. You can't really see it all, but, I hope I look festive for you all. I'm trying to get into the Christmas spirit here. But of course, we're going to get into the preview now anyway. So obviously the opposition. Yeah, like I said, this will be our third time facing Preston this season already. And obviously they'll be looking to continue that run against us. With the 2 wins that they got when they played us. Obviously, Ryan Lowe was appointed as Preston manager last December. Yeah, I hesitated there. I'm getting mixed up with years, to be honest with you, so that's why. And they sit 7th at the moment in the championship, just outside the playoffs. They're on the same number of points though as the 6th place team, which is QPR. So yeah, they're really pushing this season, and we've got to be at it, and we know that. But yeah, obviously we're not going to talk about it just yet. We're going to keep going with this. The ones to watch for me in this one. First one has to be Alvaro Fernandez. I think that obviously he's a left wing back. He joined Preston on a loan from Man United in July. He's claimed 2 assists against us in the Carabao Cup game at the beginning of the season. Obviously in his first start for his new club at that point as well. Since then, obviously, the 19-year-old has claimed the most assists for Preston this season, making 4 assists in his 18 appearances. Now 19 years of age, and I remember seeing this guy when he came to the John Smiths on both occasions, and he did really impress me actually. And we've got to be very wary. We've got to be very wary of him really, because as I say, he has got the most assists this season for them, and he's a real talent. And yeah, we're gonna have to be careful with him. He'll look to attack down that left hand side, and obviously our right back will have to be on his guard. And of course, I think there probably need to be a bit of help over there on that side for whoever I pick as right back, which will be coming up shortly, don't worry. So I'll be doing my team selection as always soon. But yeah, and then, so yeah, one to look out for, definitely him first. And then Ched Evans is another one. Obviously, he's the joint top scorer for Preston this season. Obviously, initially he signed last year on loan from Fleetwood in February for the remainder of the season. Then obviously he went on to sign a permanent contract that runs until 2023. Obviously, he has scored 5 goals and created 1 assist so far in his 18 appearances. And yeah, he'll be looking to add that against us, of course. So we're going to have to be careful with this guy. Like I say, he's no he's gonna really be a threat, and we're gonna have to nullify that. And like I say, he's a tall player as well, so aerially we're gonna have to make sure we win our aerial duels, and yeah, try and stop as many crosses as we can, because for me, I feel like we let teams cross the ball in far too easily. You've got to get tighter, and we can't afford to do that against a Preston team who will be up for this. And if we're not, we're going to get beat, obviously. And yeah, so he's another one that we're going to have to look out for. And then Emil Rees. Obviously, Rees, again, he's the second top joint scorer so far this season. Also on 5 goals in 23 appearances. And he was the top scorer for Preston last season, of course. Obviously, striker. He joined from Danish Superliga side Randers FC in 2020, so he's been there a number of years now at Preston. And like I say, 24 years of age, he'll want to add to his goal tally as he hopes to retain his title of top goal scorer. So, yeah, that's a few players I've picked out, but again, they've got so much quality all across the pitch, to be honest with you, and we're going to have to be on our guard. And yeah, it's a really tricky tie, if I'm honest with you. It's a really tricky match, this. Now, obviously, that's kind of Preston's point of view, and I've kind of done that. So let's talk about us then. So going into this game, what are my thoughts? I mean, I don't really know what to think at the moment, if I'm honest with you, because we know how difficult it's been. Difficult of a season it's been so far, and it's very hard to have any kind of positive thoughts. Now, of course, we are going to be looking to try and, obviously hit the ground running, on Boxing Day and push on from them, because we need to start getting points, and we have got some very crucial games coming up after Preston that we have to be winning. Obviously, we've got Rotherham next Thursday. That is a must-win game, and there's no excuses. Another team that's struggling in the division, and we have to be picking up points against teams around us. It's simple as that. Obviously, Preston are fighting for a playoff place, so I'd be happy with a point in this one. I would, and even though it's not going to be any good for us because we need wins because of the situation we're in, I think a point against Preston and 3 points against Rotherham, 4 points, that'll be a good turnaround from the form that we've been showing when we've obviously not picked up anything. So yeah, it is. But anyway, this game, I expect Preston obviously to really be, really take the game to us. Obviously, they're at home. Obviously that they'll be looking to be on the front foot. But I think, again, I know I've said this on numerous videos, the opening, we have to keep them out for the opening. Well, we have to keep them out for as long as possible, obviously, but I think the opening 20-25 minutes, if we can keep them shut out for that amount of time, like I said, we saw at Sheffield United, we conceded, too early for me, and then it just set the tone. So we need to, like I said, we need to actually kind of stay in the game, settle down the opening 20-25 minutes, and then build on that, really. And of course, the longer the game goes on, the more frustrated the crowd will get at Deepdale, because that's the name of the game for an away side. You've got to try and frustrate the fans, and then that'll transfer onto the players, and then hopefully we can sneak a winner. But yeah, I expect us to, kind of have, the kind of the least of the ball. I don't think we'll have much of the ball, really. I think Preston will look to have the ball a lot more, and we need to try and, obviously, when we do have it, keep the ball, because there's far too many times this season where we've just given away the ball far too easily, and we've got to be better at that. So I expect Preston to have. I think there'll be chances for both teams. I know that Preston are, fighting for a playoff, but they still are. Any team in this division can beat anybody on the day, and that I'm clutching at straws here, but it's true because we saw Rotherham who beat Sheffield United, at Bramall Lane, and you never would have thought that before the game. So it's the unpredictable nature of this league, and that's why we love that's why I love this league. It's the most competitive ever, and so I think, like I said, I think there'll be chances for both teams. It's just we need, when we do get our chance. Obviously, we've said this time and time again. I'm not trying to, state the obvious here, but we have to take our chances when we get them. And the problem is we're not creating enough to be able to get, because, like I say, in previous matches we've only had one or two shots on target, and for me, that's just not good enough, and that shows the lack of creativity, but the quality that we've got up front as well. And we all know this, and we all know that we need to get players in January, which I will get into very soon, regarding the situation with the stadium company that obviously has gone into administration, which I mentioned in the other stream. So I'll get into that in a minute, but yeah, we have to test the keeper more in this one. We do, because I know it'll be difficult. Preston are a great side. The defensively they're very organised, and it's not going to be easy. But the bottom line is, I want to be coming away from Deepdale on Monday and saying, you know what, we've given a good go of it here. We've given it our best, and that's all you ask. But my kind of annoyance at the moment with Town is that we're coming away. We're coming away from games, and we're feeling very, very much disappointed. We don't feel like we're very much disappointed for how we've applied ourselves, and it hasn't been that feeling of, yeah, you know what, we've done it. We've given it our best. That's all you can ask. I don't think we've got that. So I want that to be the minimum of, coming away, even if we lose, as long as we've given a good account of ourselves and we've fought and we've given it our best and given it a good go, then that's all you can ask, isn't it? So that is it, isn't it, really? So I'm going to get into the lineups now. So obviously, so I'm going to go with a 4-2-3-1 in this formation. I am, because I just think we need to get to the back. We need to have a back four, really, because if you've seen in the previous two games, in the past two games, we've lost games because we've played three at the back, and I don't really know. I don't think we should be playing three at the back, really, to be honest with you. I don't think it suits us. So I would go for a 4-2-3-1 in my opinion. So obviously I'm going to start with the man himself, Lee Nichols in goal, of course. I'm sure he'll be coming up with some star quality saves again on Monday, as he always does. So it has to be him in goal. Kessler Hayden in the defence with Lees and Heelick and Ruffles. The two holding, Hogg and Kasumu. I think Kasumu should be back. If not, put Kamara in there. So I'm not sure if Kasumu is going to be back. So yeah, Kamara for me if not. And then Thomas, Radone and Jackson further forward in the attacking positions, just behind the striker. And for the striker, I'm going to go for Rhodes. I know that people have said, obviously Simpson's back now, and obviously, is he ready to start? I don't think he is yet. I think he's not played much football at all, really. So I don't know if it's sensible for him to start. I still like to see him come on, but for me, I have to start with Rhodes. Obviously, I haven't started recently, so I think they should start. So yeah, that's my team. But yeah, like I said, I actually forgot. If you do like this video, by the way, and you're liking what you're hearing, please hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm, and please subscribe to the channel as well. We are actually at 174 subscribers now, so I've gone up by 9 in the past week. So let's get to 180 by next week, and hopefully by the new year, which is only a couple of days after. I don't know why I'm saying this, but maybe by January, then not by by January, I'd like to hit 200 subscribers. So yeah, if you are new, please hit the subscription button. It is free as well. I'm not asking for anything. So and it would really mean a lot to me, and I'd appreciate it a lot. So thank you for everybody's support so far, and of course, let me know in the comments below what your score predictions are for this game and what your thoughts going into it as well. I'd love to hear from you, Town fans. So we're going to get into a few other topics now. Obviously, as always, I know the main part of the show is the preview, which I've already done now. I think I've kind of said really everything that I want to. So I'm going to go into a few other topics now. So obviously, with Tino Andrin's situation, obviously it was confirmed that he did have to have surgery on his ankle. So for me, I'm sorry, but if he's going to be not back until very, very late on in the season, there is absolutely no point in, obviously he's back at Chelsea now with the medical team there. There's no point that, we just have to send him back to Chelsea, in my opinion. I just think, what I mean is cancel the loan, basically, just to clarify. I just think, I absolutely love Tino, I do. He's got so much talent. But he's just so injury prone, isn't he? And I have liked what I've seen of him this season. Obviously, when he, the most we've seen of him in a Town shirt. But yeah, he's just not fit. He's just not fit enough. He just can't keep fit. Sorry, and we need every player we can get at the moment, and we cannot afford to have someone like Tino who has got all the talent in the world, but is hardly fit and hardly available. So for me, it's just a bit of a waste of a loan if he's not going to be back until late on. So I'd have to cancel that loan and look to get somebody else in January. That's just my opinion. And I'm sure plenty of others will agree with me. I've seen it on social media how people have said that, we all know he's such a good player, but if he's not able to have a season where he's totally injury free, then it's not really any good to us. And especially when we're struggling, we need to replace him with somebody that will be able to play every week. And obviously finding someone like Tino in talent wise is going to be difficult for sure, but it just, in my opinion, it just has to be done. Obviously, transfer news. Obviously, I've not heard much on the transfer news front at the moment. Obviously, Canberra is coming in January, of course. He's a forward. Obviously, we'll need to add more than that in player-wise in January if we can. Obviously, we know the off-field situation at the moment with the football club. Another name that I want to mention, obviously, he's not a transfer as such, but obviously Kean Harrott, who was at Bradford and obviously had his loan terminated at Bradford because of situation off the field, of course. Obviously, I'm not going to get into it, but yeah. So obviously he will be back available from the 1st of January, so that's another option. Obviously, he has been scoring goals in the B team for us, and he's a good player, to be fair. So yeah, obviously that's another option that we've got. Other transfer news, I haven't got anything as such. I'm not really seeing anything else as of yet. But yeah, there's no doubt about it in my mind, and from other Town fans' point of views when I've been speaking to others, for us to have any chance of staying up in this division, we have to get players in. We simply have to, because we are not going to survive on what we've got at the moment. That's the reality. And which leads me on to, obviously, the fact is that the ownership, still up in the air. Now, a big stumbling block with probably selling the club at the present moment was because obviously KDSL, who own the stadium, if anybody doesn't know, has gone into administration, but now there's been a breakthrough with the council in Kirklees. So I'm just going to update you guys with that. So like I said, Kirklees Council has agreed to hand over their 40% share of John Smith Stadium to Huddersfield Town and Huddersfield Giants. Like I say, it was revealed last week, obviously, that KDSL, who is the company that owns the stadium, manages the stadium, should I say, sorry, could be at risk of going into administration due to debts running into millions of pounds. Like I said, the stadium at the moment is in need of between 8 to 10 million worth of refurbishments over the next 10 years to address a really big backlog of maintenance issues in order to extend the stadium's life until 2050. I think the bulk of this work needs to be done over 5 years, and like I said, KDSL was said to be experiencing really severe cash flow difficulties, and that's worsened obviously with the increase in energy costs. Kirklees Council has now agreed plans to try and safeguard the future of the stadium. It is hoped that with the sports clubs having more control, they will be able to attract future investment, which was what I was going to get into. Obviously, it will maybe attract a future investor now. Now it looks like that is cleared up with KDSL and the situation there. So, but as we know, it's not as easy as selling a football club. It takes time, and my concern here is I don't know if it's going to be done before January, and if it isn't, then how are we going to go about getting players in, which I've already voiced my concerns about in the previous videos. So it's a tricky one, because unless Dean Hoyle, obviously, who has stepped down, will obviously look to maybe get some loans in potentially, but we need players in. It's simple as that. I just want to read this statement out though from Kirklees Council. Kirklees Council's cabinet has approved plans to open up negotiations to secure the future of Town Stadium, the John Smiths. Since it opened in 1993, the stadium has been managed by KDSL, with shares held in the company by the council and the town's two professional sports clubs, obviously Huddersfield Town Association Football Club and Huddersfield Giants Rugby League Football Club. In recent years, KDSL has faced challenging trading conditions, and partners have been in discussions about putting the stadium on a firmer financial footing. A recommendation to the Cabinet proposed that a new ownership model, where the council transfers its stake to the clubs, could bring much needed investment to the facility, as well as giving the stadium a more sustainable business model for the future. In any of the proposed scenarios, the council would retain ownership of the stadium site. Now that the council has agreed the recommendation, Kirklees Council will explore a new ownership model with its partners. So there was a comment from Kirklees Council's Cabinet Minister, Graham Turner, about the stadium. He says, the station to stadium corridor in Huddersfield has huge economic potential. The master plan gives shape to our ambition and sets out how it can bring high quality jobs and economic opportunities to the town. Obviously, the council echoed about the stadium. It is the heart of our community, and yeah, our club means so much to people across our town, and beyond, of course, as we do know. But yeah, like I say, if we are going to serve the community like it says, it needs investment and financial platform that's sustainable in the long term. Obviously, all partners are working closely together to find a way forward that suits everyone, especially sports and future generations of fans. There's a lot of detailed and complex issues to consider and a range of options open to us, but all partners are committed to maintain the stadium as the heart and soul of Huddersfield's sporting heritage. So that's obviously given us a big boost over the last 24 hours, hearing that. And of course, like I said, it will potentially attract somebody to come into the club. Now, from my understanding is the club will not be selling to someone that is going to, he's going to want to have an owner that has the same connection with the fan base, has that community feel. we are a community football club. We don't want to break that. We don't want to break what we've got here. And I think that, we've seen at Bournemouth where, they've got a rich owner and he's come out and said he's the dictator. You don't want people like that in your club. I'm sorry, and we certainly don't. And I believe that the route that the club are going down is a similar one to how Dean Hall ran the club. Obviously, someone that may spend a bit more money, though, admittedly, but someone that still has that. We want to keep the ethos within the football club of a family club, community, really at the heart of the community and a real community focus as well. So, yeah, we don't want to break that because that's what we are together as one, and that's what we want to continue. So, yeah, that's kind of it, guys, for this video, really. But obviously, first of all, I want to wish you all a very, very happy Christmas. I hope you all enjoy your day spent with your families and friends. Thoughts go out to the ones that are sadly not with us this year, of course, as well. So rest in peace to everybody, that's no longer with us. And yeah, have a good Christmas. And I'll be back after Christmas for a review show of the Preston game. Hopefully, giving you all some positive, hopefully a much positive and happier video, should I say. But who knows? We can only hope, can't we? And of course, I'll be going to the game. So if you do see me there, please come and say hi. And yeah. So yeah, don't forget, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 180 by next week. Comment your thoughts down below on anything that's been discussed in today's video and anything else you want to add. Get your score predictions in, and yeah, happy Christmas to you all. Have a good weekend, Christmas weekend, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Up the town.